retired, my son's moved away.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today, we're counting down our picks for the top 10 cover songs that played a part in boosting the career of the artist who originally wrote it. Number 10. Mony Mony, Billy Idol. Considering that Tommy James and the Shondells enjoyed their best period in the mid to late 60s, they enjoyed something of a resurgence in the 1980s. In the hunt for the next big hit, modern artists were looking backwards, and as a result, 3 of the band's biggest songs were covered to great success on the charts. Billy Idol's live version of Mony Mony was actually the second time he had released it.
Shoot 'em down, turn around, come on, Mony.
His studio version charted modestly in 1981, but it was the live version that hit number 1 on the Billboard charts. This brought quite a lot of attention to Tommy James and the Shondells, leading to a boom in ticket and album sales. Number 9. Venus, Bananarama. Shocking Blue were one of the spearheading members of the Nederbeat movement in the Netherlands back in the 1960s.
It got us on a mountain top. Was burning like a silver flame.
They're best known abroad for hits like Send Me a Postcard and, in particular, Venus, which became a number 1 single in the US. Even though the group disbanded before Bananarama covered the track, it became an even bigger global success.
The summit of beauty and love. And Venus was her name.
Not only were the royalties no doubt plentiful, but it also introduced an entire generation to a band that could have very easily been forgotten about.
She's got it. Yeah, baby, she's got it.
For as much as the Bananarama version works fantastically well, there's just something special about the rawness of the original.
Well, I'm your Venus. I'm your fire at your desire.
Number 8. Bette Davis Eyes, Kim Carnes. There's real genius behind Kim Carnes' cover of the Jackie DeShannon penned Bette Davis Eyes.
Her hair is hollow gold. Her lips are sweet surprise.
The song didn't do too much commercially for DeShannon when it was released. However, with a synth-pop overcoat, it became one of the biggest selling songs of 1981 thanks to Carnes' cover.
Her hands are never cold.
DeShannon had a good standing within the music industry as a songwriter, but this undoubtedly brought her reputation to an entirely new level. Not to mention the sheer amount of money the song generated.
And she'll tease you. She'll unease you.
Listening to the 2 versions back to back, it sometimes is hard to believe that they're the same tune.
She's got Bette Davis eyes.
Number 7. Tainted Love, Soft Cell. Originally recorded by Gloria Jones in 1964, Tainted Love was the B-side to the unsuccessful single My Bad Boy's Coming Home.
Sometimes I feel I've got to run away.
For years after, the song remained dormant, like so many other forgotten gems. Somehow, it became a sleeper hit in the Northern Soul scene in the UK, eventually falling into the hands of Soft Cell's Mark Allman. The band managed to give the track a sinister overcoat, turning it into a much darker and moodier piece.
Once I ran to you, now I run from you.
Just 1 year after its 1981 release, Jones decided to put out a studio album with a re-recorded version. Overall, Jones's work was highlighted greatly by Soft Cell's tributes, and these days, she is known by the title, the Queen of Northern Soul.
Tainted love, oh, tainted love.
Number 6. I Think We're Alone Now, Tiffany.
Children behave. That's what they say when we're together.
Tommy James and the Shondells had, by all accounts, hit their peak in the 1960s, and yet, the 80s were perhaps their most lucrative decade ever. When pop star Tiffany released a cover of the band's seminal track, I Think We're Alone Now, it spent 2 weeks in the number 1 spot on the Billboard charts.
And watch how you play.
All of a sudden, a band who were very clearly in their legacy act phase were having an entirely new generation exposed to their music.
I think we're alone now.
Coincidentally, the song was eventually knocked off the top spot by another Tommy James cover, Billy Idol's version of Mony Mony. It's truly one of the most unlikely of resurgences. Number 5. Come On Feel the Noise. Quiet Riot. Slade are glam rock royalty in the UK, despite having limited chart success in the US. However, when Quiet Riot decided to release a cover of Come On Feel the Noise in 1983, it was a top 5 hit.
So you say I got a funny face, I got no worries.
It also allowed Slade to achieve their first ever top 40 hits on the Billboard charts, marking something of a comeback after declining sales in the late 70s. For years, the group, like so many others, had failed to crack the US market. There's no denying that being associated with the chaos of Quiet Riot helped them tremendously. Number 4. Cats in the Cradle. Ugly Kid Joe. Harry Chapin's relatively short career saw him carve out quite a consistent run of chart success before his untimely death in 1981 due to a car crash.
My child arrived just the other day. He came to the world in the usual way.
However, when Ugly Kid Joe got their hands on Cats in the Cradle a decade after its original author died, they brought his music a new level of exposure.
He was talking for a new and as he grew, he said, I'm gonna be like you, Dad.
Who would have thought that turning this old song into a full-on rock anthem and taking the apostrophe out of its title was going to work so well? Ugly Kid Joe well and truly knocked this one out of the park.
And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon.
Sure, it's a far cry from what Chapin probably envisioned for the song, but it was popular nonetheless.
Oh, when you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then.
Number 3. Hallelujah. Jeff Buckley. Leonard Cohen was already a music legend by the time the 1990s arrived.
Now I've heard there was a secret chord.
However, when Jeff Buckley burst onto the scene with a truly stunning cover of Cohen's signature track Hallelujah, it was a revelation.
Well, it goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major lift.
Not only did Buckley succeed in pulling off a version that is often pointed to as a gold standard for how to interpret someone else's work, he also shone quite a lot of new light on Cohen's huge back catalog.
And it's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not somebody who's seen the light.
The lyrics of the song resonated quite deeply with modern audiences, stoking curiosity about the poet who first put them on paper. The song has since become a standard, and it's Buckley's version that truly broke it through into the mainstream.
Hallelujah.
Number 2. Spirit in the Sky. Doctor and the Medics. Being a one-hit wonder is far more than most musicians will ever manage.
When I die and I lay me to rest, gonna go to the place that's the best.
For Norman Greenbaum, Spirit in the Sky was that one hit, a multi-million selling 1969 track that pretty much ensured his financial security. When Doctor and the Medics took the song back to the top of the charts in 1986, the retired Greenbaum received yet another surge in public interest and royalty checks.
Prepare yourself, you know it's a must. Gotta have a friend named Jesus.
He returned to the music industry around that period as a manager and as a promoter.
Oh, you know that when I die, it's gonna set me up with the spirit in the sky.
But all in all, this was one of the most valuable one-hit wonders in music history. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. After Midnight. Eric Clapton. J.J. Cale had meandered around the music industry through most of the 60s, but hadn't achieved any real success.
After midnight, we're gonna let it all hang out.
However, when he was alerted to the fact that guitar god Eric Clapton had recorded a version of his track After Midnight, it changed everything. The 33-year-old Cale finally had a recording contract in front of him as a result. He put out his debut album Naturally in 1971. And despite minimal chart success, he made his money through other artists covering him. The famously reclusive Cale penned several tracks that became hits for other musicians, allowing him to live out his life under the radar.
We're gonna let it all hang out.
But what do you think is the single greatest cover version of all time? Let us know in the comments below.